This week I was in a whole bunch of places if anything. So first up, let's talk about Akihabara, since I was there to see the new Silk Hat arcade they had just set up. So far, from what I've seen, it looks pretty much almost exactly like the Gigo Sega arcade from before. They actually had a little like flower display out at the front, almost making it look like it was like a thank you to Sega that used to own the building before, but the way it was set up, it actually made it feel a little bit like a funeral, which I felt a little awkward for that reason instead. For the most part, the inside the building feels pretty much the same, except that the color scheme makes it feel a bit more bland than the arcade before, since, you know, the Sega Gigo had a lot more reds and blues, a lot of the Sega colors and all. Those mostly got replaced by whites and greys. Like, they even kept some of the, like, wallpaper and the railings around, so you could still see the wear and tear from before they took over there. I'm just glad that they didn't replace the entire arcade with a bunch of, like, Flappy Bird and, like, all those other shitty rip-off games that are plaguing arcades overseas from what I've been seeing recently. It's pretty much the same with the card games as well as the rhythm games taking up the upper floors, and the bottom 4 floors are still the crane machines, and the basement is still like the Gundam floor. There were a bunch of machines for iPretty there, which is already a big surprise, since Pretty series as well as the iCastle series games both also have been falling quite out of popularity, so it was actually cool seeing both again. Aside from that, I also went all the way down to Ginza for Oyari Ashito's 30th anniversary art gallery. I don't know how much of it I can show here, since, like, for the most part, while he does a lot of anime art that is also very artsy in style, some of it is also a lot of adult in nature, but either way, someone who's fairly famous within the industry in Japan at least, and who has made quite a few titles up to this point. It seems they were also advertising a new game that he was working on together with Front Wing, which is both a Bishonen and Bishoujo dating sim at once. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but we'll have to see. That might be an interesting thing coming forward in the future. Either way, it was pretty cool seeing all of his older works, like everything from all the way back when he was making games for the PlayStation and before on the PC, all the way up to AU and all the way till Machine Chow. They just released in Japan this year, and I think it's releasing in the West next year, so that was also really cool to see, to be honest. I even got my hands on the 30th anniversary illustration art book of his, and not only that, but it is hand signed by the man himself. Yeah. Aside from that, I also went down to the vaults in Akihabara, where they were having both the railgun as well as the Mahoako pop-up stores. Unfortunately, the Mahoako pop-up store actually ran out of the postcards that you get for purchasing from the store, so there really wasn't much of a reason for me to purchase from the store itself. So I pretty much just browsed around a little for both that and railgun. To be honest, it's still kind of amazing that railgun is having the run that it is. Like, I'm just amazed that it still gets this many pop-up stores and this much marketing going on for it. I guess they still do release content for it every once in a while, but it's certainly interesting to see both side by side in the way that they were. But that's it, that's all for me for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, where maybe I'll be back in Akihabara for